Today, we're going to be reacting to the Pontius's Warhammer 40K YouTubers are a disgrace, the part with Major Kill in it. Please go support his channel, and the original video will be in the description. Thank you. Welcome to A Christian Reacts. So I do things a little bit differently. I react, but I also bring similar biblical commentary that is close to the Warhammer 40K lore on screen. Now this is going to be another different one, because I preach that we got to get both sides of the story. So I did Major Kill's part, so I'm going to do Pontius's part. And I want to say, there's some things I learned about Major Kill that, which he did shill his adult-themed content on his YouTube channel, and it was right in front of me, but anyways, so there's that. I do not agree with selling any kind of form of that, but I wanted to get it, the legal part of it, right? I didn't want to put my religion and stuff into that. But anyways, so we're going to get into that. And I do a Warhammer 40K lore in the Bible series in short format. So you're going to check that out. That's on my watch page. And check out this 20-second ad read. Check out W Energy Drinks at w.gg. They have many flavors to choose from, like the s'mores here. They also have Crunchyroll licensed products as well, and shakers that are made in the USA. Check out the discount link in the description, or use code HISWORD247. Helps out the channel a lot, and thank you for listening. So the last time I did a regular Bible verse, whatever, but right now I'm going to show you what I do on my channel. And we're going to be talking about Atlantis real quick. Yes, you heard me right. But anyways, so this is Ezekiel 26:20. And they shall take up a lamentation for thee, and say to thee, How art thou destroyed? Thou was inhabited of seafaring men. The renowned city, which was strong in the sea, she and her inhabitants, which caused their terror to be on all that haunt it. Now shall the isles tremble in the day of thy fall. Yea, the isles that are in the sea shall be troubled at thy departure. For thus saith the Lord God, when I shall make thee a desolate city, like the cities that are not inhabited, when I shall bring up the deep upon thee, and great waters shall cover thee. Isn't that interesting? So maybe Plato didn't make up the story. So, interesting stuff. And there's more to it right here. And when I shall bring thee down with them that descend into the pit, with the people of old time. These are the people of the golden age, right? When Satan and Lucifer, Kronos, in my opinion, and sorry, subscribers, I know you get ad nauseum, with me on that, but Lucifer, it literally calls him a man. Isaiah 14:16 says, is this the man, that made that shook the kingdoms, right? So he is a man, and he is not Satan. Now, Satan does exist, but there's much into that. I won't get into that, but I just wanted to show you what I do on this channel. I bring up similar lore points, of Warhammer 40K and Bible points. So, it's not here to get you to believe or whatever. I'm just showing you the truth of what the Bible says. But anyways, let's go ahead and hear what Pontius has to say here.
For that, I will let my precise thoughts be expressed by Dark Viper AU.
What is wrong with you? Shut the fuck up!
Now we move to Major Kill. My opinion on Major Kill when it comes to the lore has not changed. He's not even a clown. He's the entire fucking circus. Keep in mind.
So, now, this is just my problem with Pontius, right? Nothing to do with his character or anything like that. He's passionate about the lore, right? He wants people to get it right. My thing is, attack the doctrines and leave the name calling out of it. Show where Major Kill is lying and what he's done, which he did, right? And I even called him out on some stuff too, like the shielding of the peptides and all that. And I should have called him out on the, the adult themed content, but I kind of wanted to keep the religion stuff out of it. But anyways, but that's just my thing, right? You disarm everybody when you just attack the doctrines, right? I do this with the mainstream church. I'm starting to learn not to call everybody the mainstream church, whatever, and name call it and all that, right? I attack the doctrines where they're wrong and show the evidence of that, right? But anyways, that's just my issue. And it did seem that he was a little bit elitist, right? I kind of have, I mean, depending on, anyways, I just don't like that too much. But anyways, Major Kill could have
I
cut a lot
despise
out.
Major Kill personally, not only as a lore YouTuber. The guy has backstabbed Arch Warhammer. Now, your opinion on Arch might be good or bad. It really doesn't matter in this case. Much of the
So Major Kill said that it wasn't, that his channel grew after that. But you know what? He did give him his spotlight, now that I see it. You know what I mean? And I probably should have done a little bit more research before I did that, but I was just reacting to what I was seeing. But anyways.
success of Major Kill is owed to Arch Warhammer. Backstabbing the guy that made you famous makes you a very shitty person to begin with. He then did the same to Wes Hammer, accusing him of copying his content and videos, in a very stupid way because both of them talk about the same exact lore owned by Games Workshop. What should Wes Hammer talk about to not copy other lore YouTubers?
Yeah, I guess Major Kill, I think he cut that out, didn't he? Huh.
Major Kill got so much backlash because of that, he had to delete the video, because even his own community was calling him out. The constant shilling of porn on his Patreon, and even the recent shilling of peptides to his audience of children, doesn't make me like him either.
And you want to support the channel, then Patreon is the place.
And obviously the porn shilling.
You know, for some reason I thought this was like photoshopped in there, but I'm an idiot at times. I don't think I paid attention to this part when we watched that with Major Kills. But yeah, I definitely don't agree. You know, if you want to put it on your Patreon, 18 plus and up, okay, fine, do you, whatever, you know what I mean? Now, I don't necessarily agree with that, but it's not my life, right? But when you're doing it on YouTube, that's where I have a problem with it, so, but anyways.
Thank you, Major Kill. Obviously, the porn shilling couldn't be missed. It is a very shitty thing to do when you make videos that are open to be watched by children. We make jokes about it at best, but we will never dare to sponsor 18 plus content on videos watched by children.
Yeah, but to be honest though, the Grim Dark is pretty much adult themed. Let's be honest here, right? And now kids do play it, you know, I understand that. But let's be honest with ourselves. The Grim Dark, Warhammer 40K, is pretty much an 18 plus themed universe, right? You got the Drukhari who forced themselves on people, enslaved them and stuff like that, right? That's really not supposed to be for kids. But I understand what he's saying here.
Major Kill. Humor side? His entire humor is based on being the most stereotypical Australian you can think. It would be like me and Pio basing our entire brand of humor on being Italian Americans.
Yeah.
Pio, you meet the ball. We have to make a new video.
Danny, you got cool. I'm busy taking over Brazil. Forget about the new video.
Oh, man.
To put it simply, he's not fucking funny. If anything, all the videos we have watched of him for Lore Destroyers, other than being grossly inaccurate on the lore, having more than one occasion.
I'll be honest, he probably won't like me. I understand that, though. You know, like I said, my main thing is the biblical side of things, right? That's where my expertise lies. I've been doing that for 10 years. I've been doing Warhammer 40K lore for 2, right? And most of my stuff, now I've learned to get past the wikis, you know, but that's pretty much what I have. The wikis, the Reddits, and all that. And I do have some books behind me, right? You know, Old Earth, Master of Mankind, Drakefire, mainly Salamander books because Vulcan lives. But anyways, so I don't have that much lore, or that much of lore behind me, I should say, right? And I admit that. I don't hide that from you guys. And, you know, let's be honest, most YouTubers are grifters, right? We go where the views go and what gets us views, right? I used to do the Warhammer 40K lore and the Bible stuff, long format, not just, you know, both short and long format, but nobody was really watching that. They were watching the shorts, but they weren't watching the long form videos, right? So, but they were, because I was doing multiple things at the time, and before I used to know what YouTube was about, and that you got to find your niche, and blah 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 blah. But I was doing React videos with that, right? Everybody was watching those, right? So I had to make a decision, say, hey, you know what? I got to go where my audience goes, right? And I would say a lot of people on YouTube don't really believe what they say, right? They're just going to where the audience is, you know. And I've learned that being a YouTuber, you know. But anyways, I digress.
Made us uncomfortable because of too sexual jokes or even jokes about diseases. So, the guy is a serial backstabber that has backstabbed two of his own friends without remorse. He's not
Make sure you don't spill your coffee on yourself. My goodness.
funny. If anything, he's the worst kind of comedian, an unfunny one. But what about his lore? His lore is a fucking joke. We have watched at least a dozen of his videos for Lore Destroyers, and some had from small to giant mistakes in them. Removing that we watched
Yeah, it does seem. I mean, I get that you got to cut some stuff out. You can't have it all. But no. He probably should have put it all in there. If he wanted to be legit, he probably should have just put it all in there and just answered it all. But it looks like he definitely cut some stuff out, like I was saying in that last video.
this lore battle against Warhammer hosted by Baldemort. Only critique to Baldemort we made for the video is that the questions were a bit badly structured. And removing the amount of compliments and praises he did to Warhammer, this before the backstabbing, really go and watch it knowing that he will call out Warhammer as copying his content
When was that? Let me know in the comments when that was.
not long after. But I have the suspicion that for the entirety of the video, he was cheating the answers to the lore questions that were being
Yeah, like I said in the other video, it did look suspicious. Right, it did look suspicious. But I look down when I'm trying to think of something, or up or down, depending on whatever it is. So I can't say. But I will say, it does look suspicious. He also looks stoned, too.
asked. He kept looking every time the camera was on him in the same exact spot, as if he was reading the answers because Baldemort was on speaker. We have no guarantee that Major Kill was alone, so it is my suspicion that in that video he was cheating during a lore contest, a guy that considers himself a lore expert. Do you want to see how much this guy sucks at the lore? Because I have the perfect example, and it is once again a video about the female custodian's retcon. The video
And I do need to say this as well. I have seen no evidence of female custodes before 2022. I forget what book it is, or little excerpt that I saw that from. There's a guy named Sixpass Kyokin TV. We did a podcast back in the day. And we were talking about that. He was bringing that up, and he says, well, here it is, blah, 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 whatever. And I didn't get anything that was before 2022. So I see no evidence of female custodes before that. And we all know what happened in 2020, right? When all this stuff started, right? This woke stuff and whatnot. So I don't think there should be female custodes. Definitely no female space marines. Here, let me put it to you this way. You have a lore that was structured in canon that was there. And you fell in love with this lore, and and say, hey, this is a male-only, organization, and only males can join it. And you fell in love with that. Doesn't make you misogynist, you know what I mean? There's females, right? The Battle Sisters, and right, there's a lot of females who like the Battle Sisters because it's female only, right? And when you start changing that, and start going, okay, no, I'll put it to Christian terms, right? Now, all Space Marines got to praise Jesus. They got to have a pastor in there. And, but guess what? That breaks the lore, doesn't it? Because now, Christianity in this universe was destroyed. Probably even way before the Great Crusade and all that, right? So that would totally break the lore. And that's what female custodes and female space marines do. It's not that we're misogynist. It's you're breaking the lore that you established, right? And what made people fall in love with it in the first place. When you do that, that's when you lose the plot. You can change, lore here and there, but not so where it's like totally immersion breaking or whatever, But anyways.
It's called Female Custodians are now 100% canon. What does this mean for Warhammer 40K? It specifically goes over, during the video, the story of the first of the three...
Not necessarily. I haven't seen a single ounce of evidence of that, other than one little excerpt, maybe. I'll have to remember where that is, but anyways.
Custodians mentioned in the Codex.
It might have been from a book, but I'm not 100% sure on that.
Calladei Starovalia
This was
Cash.
like a year and a half ago.
Me and Pio read all the female custodians lore for a Lord Destroyers video. We laughed our asses off for how stupid it was. But still, looking for proof, Lord Destroyers episode 6. The story of Starovalia Cash is literally 2 pages long. Major Kill, in his explanation, gets the ending of it completely fucking wrong. It is bewildering that for a 20 minutes video, a lore YouTuber didn't bother to read the 2 fucking pages of lore.
However, a squad of Custodes teleported on board her ship and captured her, ending her blood game. It turns out that one of the crew members was nervous about the female custodian's plan and seemingly betrayal, so alerted the Imperial Palace. In turn, Kesh ordered the man to be turned into a servitor and the entire crew to be punished. She wanted a crew that trusted her completely and committed to her orders without hesitation, no matter what they were.
No, wait. You are showing the lore on screen. Did he just fucking fuck up retelling the lore that is on screen? Let's see.
He had it in
Yeah, he definitely cut this part out. Not this part, but the part before that out.
front of him.
Yeah, let me hear what he said.
Board her ship and captured her, ending her blood game. It turns out that one of the crew members was nervous about the female custodian's plan and seemingly betrayal, so alerted the Imperial Palace. In turn, Kesh ordered the man to be turned into a servitor and the entire crew to be punished. She wanted a crew that trusted her completely and committed to her orders without hesitation.
That's literally that's literally the opposite of the story. He's literally
Yeah.
saying the opposite of the story.
He cut that out too.
I can understand it is shitty lore, but it is 2 fucking pages, Major Kill. Like, you have them here. You are showing them. What the fuck? Like...
Yeah, the captain got servitorized, not the one.
Okay, I'm starting to see Major Kill cut it out to where it made Pontius look like an elitist scumbag. But I'm starting to mellow out on that a little bit more now.
The captain got servitorized, the entire crew got punished.
And I do see where he's coming from, right? He just wants people to get the lore right. I 100% understand that. But again, I would keep the name calling out, which he actually hasn't done too bad on that. It seemed like it was a lot, excuse me, it seemed like it was a lot worse on Major Kill's video. But again, like I said, that's what YouTubers do. They cut out context and then they make it look like that person is the bad guy. So, anyways.
Punished and then was allowed to go back into service, which punished in this case, like, would have been like probably being tortured alive. But the woman that actually denounced there to the custodians and the Imperial Palace was promoted to be the captain.
Yeah, and one thing too about female custodians and female space marines and stuff like that, all the females that I've talked to in this hobby all say they never asked for it. So I want to get that out there as well. Excuse me, my goodness.
He literally said the opposite, because she wanted a crew that followed her orders like blindly. Even at the end, she says that the fact that they were following her orders blindly was what made them get punished. And she actually gave a reward to the one that didn't, just for reference. Fucking Christ. Major Kill.
Yeah, he definitely cut this part out.
I can understand that you have like no kind of fucking commitment to the lore with 700k subscribers. You can say whatever the fuck you want and people will believe you because rule of numbers. But for real, you couldn't be bothered to read the 2 fucking pages. We are at that level now.
Yeah, he's got a point there. He does have a point there.
Now, Giulio, do the honors. Show the true lore to the viewers and Major Kill.
Officer of Vox, Siwa Batur, make yourself known, he commanded. Unable to stop
I love that voice, by the way. Can I have it?
a treacherous body from shaking, jaw clenched tight, the officer with the ocular teether rose to her feet and gave an Aquila salute. Officer Batur here believed it appropriate to ignore your request for absolute secrecy. She dispatched a coded distress call amidst her standard data missives and we detected it. Shipmaster Lethwick choked in outrage, but before he could berate his rebellious officer, the shield captain pointed a finger at the man, menacing him to silence.
And he's doing exactly what I was saying to do, you know, attack the doctrines. But just my personal opinion, I guess it's the Christian in me. I would just attack this stuff right here, right? Show the people this stuff right here where he's got it wrong, you know, whatever. And that way it just totally disarms people from going, oh, he's just an elitist and he's just, you know, punching up or whatever it is, you know what I mean? That way, it at least in my opinion, it disarms them. They can't come at you with that, when you know what I mean? But anyways.
Are those who will call such disobedience to a custodian heresy, said Cash slowly. And yet in this instance, unthinking capitulation risked infinitely greater evil. Recommendations? Asked Nicodemus. This crew has been found wanting, replied Cash. A sword that turns willingly upon its master offers no protection. But examples can be instructive. We shall hand the shipmaster over to the Adeptus Mechanicus. Let them make a servitor of him, if he wishes to serve so unthinkingly.
And I apologize, guys, for some reason. Like, I don't know why I'm not moving the mouse or anything, but the red line just comes on. So I apologize for that.
Creation for the crew. Then let them return with punitive status to their battle fleet, that they might spread the word of vigilance. As for Officer Batur, one hopes that she will captain this vessel in the future with the same courage and clarity of faith she has shown this day. This defense of the Golden Throne requires no less.
So, we have an unfunny and generally completely morally bankrupt person trying to be a lore YouTuber, while making minor and major mistakes in every single video of lore he ever made, and trust me, we watch him constantly for lore destroyers. Some of his edits even ended up in the last video we released, which was a best-of of the first 4 episodes of Lore Destroyers. Trying to be a lore YouTuber and expert while not even bothering to read the 2 pages of shitty lore.
Okay, so I just want to say, you guys know me, I do not call myself a lore expert, right? That's why I react to the Warhammer 40K lore, and then I bring the biblical side of things to it, right? And if they're wrong on it, you know, I guess that's my fault for not paying attention, but hey, I just want to get that out there, Pontius, right? I don't claim to be a lore expert. I mainly use the lore, Warhammer 40K lore, to put people in the mindset of what the Bible is actually trying to say, right? Like Craft Worlds, right? Craft Worlds, they have a portal, people live in it, and it can go out in outer space and stuff like that. Well, the New Jerusalem, right, has a wall of portals on it. Jesus says, I go to prepare a place for you in many mansions, right? And it says it can ascend and descend. And in the book of Enoch, Enoch goes into this portal, goes into the New Jerusalem, and he says he can see the path of the stars on the ceiling. You know, like you're on a bridge, you can see to outer space and stuff like that. So, but that's what I do. I want people to, be in the mindset of what's going on in the scriptures, and you're not given the full-on truth of what the Bible says in these mainstream doctrines, right? You're just not. And there's many stuff I can go over and show you where they get wrong with scripture itself. But anyways,
that even we, that can't stand it, took the time to read just to be sure to be precise when we demolished it. Why the fuck are people even following this guy?
Alright.
This one is another...
Okay. So, we're going to go ahead and end it there. I just wanted to do Major Kill's part and not have this a huge video because it's not what I do, right? I do react, but my main thing is to bring the biblical side of things. So this will probably, I'll bring these up every now and then. I'll do just a full-on reaction every now and then. But I'm also going to be probably changing the titles of my videos to Is It in the Bible? Because Christian Reacts, it just doesn't get people to come to the video, right? And it's not being pushed. So I'm going to try Is It in the Bible? That way it gets people's curiosity going and stuff like that. And there's a little bit of emotion into it. Because I've learned that's how YouTube works. It goes by emotion. And they want you to comment and all that stuff. So that's what I'm going to do. But anyways, guys, thank you to all the people who liked the video. If you disliked it, thank you for at least giving me a chance. Thank you and have a wonderful day.